So congratulations on completing day 2 and you're on day 3 of the gratitude challenge. Now today I'm going to be telling you a little about habits because we are in the process of developing the habit of writing your gratitude on a daily basis. Now here are a few things about a habit. Now a habit is something that the brain forms so as to reduce the amount of energy that it has to use on doing any activity. Think about it. There are some habits that already exist in your life, whether it's brushing your teeth, whether it is having your meals, whether it is having tea at a certain time of the day, whether it is going for a walk, or even watching TV or Netflix, right? These are some of the things that we do habitually. You may not have consciously decided to make a habit out of it, but they may have become habits over a period of time. For example, you go to sleep at a certain time of the day. You may not be very happy with the time at which you go to sleep or the time at which you wake up in the morning, but that has become a habit, though you did not think of it consciously. In some of your cases, you may have consciously decided to have a certain time when you go to sleep and consciously decided that you're going to wake up at a certain time. That's great. So we can either create habits or habits can get formed on their own. Now, how does a habit get formed? Now, a habit generally gets formed when you know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do, and where you're going to do it. Okay, so let's look at each of this. Let's look at the habit of having a meal. Now, when it comes to a meal, it's become so habitual that every day you start to think, probably sometime in the morning time, as to what you're going to have for lunch. Okay, so then you start getting clarity. Where you're going to have it is something you generally don't have to think, because over a period of time you have started sitting down at a specific place and having your lunch, or maybe standing up and having your lunch at a specific place. So if you're in office, probably you go to the cafeteria every day to have your meal. If you are at home, you probably go sit down at the dining table or sit on the couch and have your meal. Similarly, when it's 8 o'clock in the evening or 8:30 or 9 o'clock is when there's a specific time when your brain starts telling you, oh, I should check out that Netflix series, the next episode, right? So that has also become habitual because you know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. You're going to sit in front of the TV, or you're going to sit with your mobile in a quiet corner and you're going to open the Netflix and watch the series, So there is the what, there is the how, and the when and the where. Okay, so the couch is the place where you're going to, that's the where, and when is about 9 o'clock, right? So habits can only be formed when you give it a time and a place in your life, right? Just like we give time and place to people in our lives, we have to give habits time and places, and that's when the habit gets formed. So with gratitude, if you want to make it into a habit, right now, because we are having the challenge and we ask about it on a daily basis, you somehow manage to complete it on a daily basis. Some of you may have already made it into a very specific habit where you do it at a certain time, at a specific place, and you know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So let's look at the how and the what. Right? What is the gratitude practice that we are talking about here? We are talking about thinking about the things that you're grateful for in your life and then writing them down. So what is thinking about the things that you're grateful for and writing them down? How can be that you could be writing on a piece of paper, or you could also be typing it out on a document, or you could be talking about it to somebody. But here we have said that we are going to write, and make sure that you write it on paper with your hand, because there is this connection between your hand and your head. When you do it, something magical happens. So do it with your hand on a notebook on a daily basis. Okay, so what and the how is clear. So now also decide what time of the day you want to do it. Do you want to do it immediately after you brush your teeth? Do you want to do it just before you go to bed? Do you want to do it immediately before you have your lunch? Okay, or maybe just when you're about to have your tea, or after you have your tea. Decide on the how and the what, and now also decide. See, the thing with when, the time, it is not necessarily about the specific time, but more about if you can attach it to another habit. This is called habit stacking. So when having a meal is already a habit. So when you say I'm going to do this immediately after having the meal, you're stacking your new habit on top of an existing habit. This is a great way to decide on the when and the where. Decide on a specific place where you're going to do it every day. So don't change positions, one day on the couch, one day on the table, one day on the balcony. Don't do that. Okay, if you want to turn this into a habit, try and do this at the same place every day. So identify a place that you like sitting down at and doing this exercise. So make it a pleasant place and a pleasant activity. And when you do this consistently, after a few days, automatically at that specific time, you are reminded of this practice and you start doing it without having to be reminded about it. Okay, now this is how you can form any habit that you want to form in your life. Give it a time and a place. Yeah, so I hope this helps. This is day 3 and I will meet you on day 4 now. Have a great day.